Hi everyone, it's Ash. This is Indie Insider, and my guest this week is the amazing Karen Waldrup. How are you doing, darling?
Well, I'm doing great. It's great to chit chat with you. I am here in Nashville, Tennessee, home today.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. What's it like there in Nashville?
It's great. It's summertime. It's hot, but it's great. I love living in Nashville. It's um, great. It's Nashville Music City. There's just music everywhere. It's awesome.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let's go right back to the beginning. How did you start music or your love of music and your music career?
Well, I got started when I was really young. I started singing when I was, gosh, 5 years old. So I kind of always sung. And then I was always just very interested in being a part of different choirs and learning how to sing different parts and things.
Right.
So as I grew up, I just kind of was always in choir. And then I picked up a guitar at 16. And that's really where my life changed because I started to write music. And that's really where it got fun because I got to create my own songs, my own melodies, my own lyrics, and get on stage and perform them for people.
And you must, that really, it's something that you really enjoy to actually do that. I'm very, I love interviewing people. I love meeting people. But if I was a singer, I think, oh, okay, now I've got to perform in front of all these people. How do you manage to do that?
I think it's one of those things you're born to do. People are just born to do it. And I think I was one of those people that are just born to do it. I started doing it whenever I started singing in choir,
Yeah.
16, 17. And then when I went to college, it just was kind of fun to get up and sing for friends and everyone would gather around bonfire style. And I think it just kind of got to be something that I just really enjoyed doing, being the party organizer. I'm the one
Right.
pulling everybody together and it's just really fun. And I think it's just kind of something that God gave me this gift and I, that's just it's just kind of I don't want to say it's easy because it's a lot of work, but it's easy when I get on stage. It's like
Right.
it's natural. It just feels very thoughtless. Like I don't have to, it doesn't take a ton of thinking for me. I just get to kind of sometimes I do things on stage I didn't expect. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck? That was cool. I need to do that again.
I saw some of your, I took a sneak peek of some of your photos on your Facebook page, and you look like the type of person, you get the crowd going, you get them involved. And that's what the main thing for an artist is to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just a part of being on stage. It's my job. It's my
Right,
job to unite the crowd, to get them to be not only interested in the music and the next song or whatever I'm singing, but also in each other. And I've learned little tricks along the way. Like I'm from South Louisiana, so throwing things I think is really a huge is a fun thing that I like to do. At the end of the gig, I'll throw like free t-shirts or free koozies or even just flowers. I'll get a
oh,
bouquet of flowers and at the end of the show I'll throw 25 flowers and people just love to receive something.
yes.
They've spent all night giving back to you by clapping or laughing or dancing or crying or whatever they've
Oh,
done, buying a ticket or a t-shirt or whatever, that the least we can do is give the gift of music. And then at the end of the night, just give even more. But so that's something I like to do. I know it's very like Louisiana of me because, I'm used to going to Mardi Gras parades and catching beads. And I'm kind of used to the throw and catch of the festivities of
right.
Mardi Gras. I think that kind of leaked into my life. Fun. It's fun to throw stuff. It's
Oh,
fun to
yes.
catch.
Oh, fantastic. And do you perform a lot at festivals, or is it mainly indoor performing that you do?
I'll do either. I'll do live outdoor performances or I'll do indoor clubs. I really just wherever the gig is,
Right.
every gig is different. I don't favor one over the other. I will say the last weekend that we were in Mississippi for 4th of July was the hottest load in and prep that I've ever had. So sometimes it can be pretty hot, but that's okay.
Yes, of course. Do you have fans on the stage, or is it just nothing there to keep you cool?
Yes, each one of the players. That's funny that you would ask that. Yes, each one of the players has to have their own fan because otherwise they're sweating so bad and they're exhausted by the end of the show. So yes, we all have a little fan and that
Oh,
keeps
that's so
us when our
sweet.
makeup from smearing.
I can imagine. And sound checks. How do sound checks normally work? If you could just tell us how they work.
Sound checks are really just kind of a casual, call time. We'll get there at if the show doesn't start till 7, we'll get there at 3. And if
Oh,
it's a club, if it's a festival, sometimes we have to get there super early because the gates. So it just depends on whatever time they call the sound check. And you just kind of get to go in a casual t-shirt and jean shorts and just kind of go and plug your guitar in, make sure the battery's working, make sure that the vocal level is right, that the effects are right. You kind of spend, we spend a while in sound check. We spend a couple hours just going through and just kind of listening to each channel and saying, okay, the
right.
guitar too loud and balancing it out. Okay, the bass needs to come up or the guitar needs to come down. We just kind of go through each and every instrument and then play a couple songs and let the front of house sound person decide if it's the right mix. And then once everybody feels good, then we get to stop sound check, go get pretty, come back. Well, everything is just set for us.
Have you ever come across, or has it ever happened to you when you've done your sound checks, everything is perfect, and now it's your turn to perform, and then you find that your voice the sound isn't the same as it was in sound check? Have you ever come across that, or a guitar, or the drummer?
Oh yes, many times. And all you have to do is just smile. And it's just that's one of the things about it. It's kind of like a wedding, you plan for months for a wedding, yes. But
Yes.
when you arrive, you could walk up and that cake is just totally the wrong color. And it's
Oh,
like
yes.
ordered a yellow cake and why is this cake pink? The lady got confused. She just used the wrong color, whatever. So you just kind of have to smile and cut the cake and enjoy it anyway.
Oh, no. That must be so frustrating and annoying, I can imagine.
Yes, it's definitely, it's funny that you're asking me about this because I've actually really never had anybody ask me about sound check. And I think that's one of the parts about being a professional is just kind of
Yes.
understanding that it's part of the game and giving it up. You just got to give it up. You can't
Yes.
there and fight it all night. I mean, you can, but it'll cost your show. So it's almost like ignorance is bliss. It's
Yes.
like you just act like it's not going on.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. No, no, I'm just carrying on. Don't worry about me. I'm just doing my
Yes.
thing.
That's
Um,
right.
Karen, how would you describe your music to someone who hasn't heard it before?
I like to write songs that are in the country genre. Definitely as far as lyrics and as far as storytelling, as far as expression and emotion, and also instrumentation. But really, when it boils down to it, it's more like country soul because I'm from Louisiana, so it does have a little bit more of a funky soul attitude to it. We travel with a saxophone player in the band.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's just a little bit different. It has like a little Louisiana flair to it, which I think is fun. And it's also not very serious. We have a lot of fun, silly party songs. We don't take it too serious. We
sure.
like people to be having a party out there. We like them to be reminded that they've worked all week and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, whatever night it is, and it's their chance to let loose and have a good time. And so I don't know. I try to make sure that when I'm on stage that it's not necessarily about me as much as it's about them. I want it to be about them. I want them to be having a good time. I want them to be dancing.
Sure.
This is my job, so I need to be giving them the experience.
Oh, that's fantastic. And also, Karen, if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. But I saw that you're on The Voice as well.
Yes, I just got off The Voice. I was on The Voice for season 25. It just wrapped this past May of 24. And
Wow.
I came in 5th place and I had so much fun and I learned a ton and it's all good. It helped my career a ton and it helped me to grow and expand and it's just been
Yeah.
great.
Do you find that you've had more bookings since you've been on The Voice?
Yes. Definitely 100% more bookings, more attention, more press, more merchandise selling, just more of all of it across the board. We do VIPs before the shows. People are loving that.
Wow.
Yeah, you just kind of roll with the punches. There's definitely situations and times that things aren't as perfect as you think. You didn't get such and such done on time, or you didn't think the outfit was perfect, or there's always something that you're like, oh man, I wish we would have done this. And every single time we get off stage, every single time
Oh,
we get off stage, somebody looks at somebody and says, well, next time we should do this. Oh, we should try this.
oh,
So it's all about just learning and growing and using each show, I think, as a chance to get better than the show before. And that's, I think, part of the addiction is you just want to get better every single time. And it's
sure.
such a thrill. You're so into it and you're so passionate about it that you just want to get stronger, better.
Exactly.
I could go on all day.
Oh, I can imagine. I'll be if we had t time for the whole day, I would say, "Come, let's do it." But one of those days, where you're just limited for time.
That's right.
Karen, could you just tell us what your schedule looks like, in regards to writing music, to performing, to traveling to the different, do you travel outside of Nashville or do you just perform in Nashville?
Oh, we travel all over the world, wherever the show is.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. We're about to go out to Indiana for a show, and then we head up to Ohio, Virginia, Maryland. Then we whip over to back to Ohio. Then I go up to Maine, excuse me, Pennsylvania, Alabama. We're gonna be going back down to Louisiana. So we just go wherever the gig calls us. We don't
Okay.
yeah, it just kind of works like somebody wants us to play in Montana. So they reach out to the agent and they settle on a price, and then we jump through the hoops that it takes, whatever those are.
Right.
They provided the lodging, or oh, we got to figure out food because it's breakfast or whatever. We just
Yeah.
jump whatever hoops there are, and then we go play the show. And it's, I never really imagined that I would be doing this so extensively. I mean, I toured nonstop since April to
Oh
middle,
dear.
yeah, to middle of July. I mean, just nonstop. But my schedule is very much so I wake up each day with kind of an attitude of I need to be as productive as possible. And I
Right.
don't overwhelm myself, but I definitely try to go, okay, I got to get a workout in because I got to feel good and sing and look good on stage. I got to make sure I get my nails done for the show. I got to make sure my outfits are prepped. I got to make sure
Yeah.
our rehearsals are done. A lot of like emails, I got to do emails, make sure that, I'm responding to whatever my tour team is advancing the shows, that we're promoting the shows. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a juggling act at all times, of how you can maximize your day and try to bring as much growth and preparation as possible.
Wow. It really sounds, I know it's hard work, but I'll take my hat off to, doing all this, it is not easy. I can just imagine.
Oh, I wouldn't call it easy. It's definitely fun though. That's the thing. People are always get so hard. It's so hard. I'm like,
It's not.
I mean, I don't have to work. I don't have a boss. No one can
Yeah.
tell me, no one can really tell me. If I want to take a vacation, I get to take a vacation. So I guess that's part of being self-employed is benefits, good thing, ups and downs. I told somebody one day, well, if I want to take off work at any given time, I can take off. And they said, not if you have a show.
Oh, geez, I can
So,
imagine. Wow.
yeah, so you're very much committed when you're committed, but then when you don't have a show or you don't have an interview or something, then you can just do whatever you need to do. If you need to take the dog to the vet or do it,
Yeah.
go to the dentist or whatever, you have the freedom to kind of manage your own schedule.
Well, if you want to stay in your PJs for the whole day, you can do so.
Oh, well, that would be great, right?
It
Or for the
would. Karen, I was just going to say, I'm not too sure. Here in the UK, every year we've got it's not a festival, but it's like a 3-day event called Country to Country. Have you heard of that?
Yes, I would love to
You
play it.
must. You must, Karen. Honestly, I've been twice. It's been on, I think, for 8, 9 years now, but it's packed full every day.
Oh man, that sounds like a blast.
There's outside stages, obviously, where you could perform. I'm not too sure how your tour team would work that, but you could. I don't know if it's every day that you do it, or if it's once a day, and you get like a time where you get on stage. You should find out more about it because I'd love to see you there.
That would be great. I would absolutely love that. Wow, yes.
And everybody comes in the cowboy hats and the cowboy boots and the just like dressed as a cowboy or cowgirl. It's fascinating.
Oh,
It really
oh, yeah, that
is.
sounds like a blast. I have played in Europe. Over the years, I've gotten to play in Europe. I've gotten to play in all over England and
Oh,
Scotland and Ireland. I've played
right.
in Switzerland, Liechtenstein,
Wow.
Sweden. Yeah, so I've gotten to play over there. I've not played that specific festival, but I have gotten to play in Manchester. They have a country festival out there called Buckle and Boots.
Yes.
I'm sure okay, so you've heard of that. So it's not
Yes.
nearly as big as country to country, but I'm working my way up, girl. I'll be at country to country next.
I'm rooting for you, sweetheart. You better be there.
That's right, girl. I'll be saying a prayer.
Oh, yes. I say, yeah, I know Karen. Yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
That's right.
Yeah. Karen, what do you enjoy most about being a musician?
People. I love people. I really love people. I love to go to a show and to meet people and to hug people and to hear their stories and to meet their children and to connect with them and to have them in my life. I hate to say it, but it's almost like I collect people. Every town I go to, I make all these friends and we call it Waldrup Worldwide. And there are people all over the world that are united through the music. And that's really fun for me. That's really
Yes.
exhilarating. It's fun to know people all over America, all over the world. It's just so fun. It's fun to see the world, to travel the world, to experience different cultures. I feel like it allows me to grow as a person. I think that I have a very broad, well, I don't know, very broad, but somewhat broad um, outlook on life and on people because I've met so many people. It helps me to feel people better, to understand people better, to have more compassion for things that different cultures that I've seen and experienced and going to different places and kind of noticing how people are different and then I have to kind of not that I behave differently but I'm going to speak to the crowd differently, right? If I'm speaking to a crowd of all ages, at a festival with a bunch of kids in the front, then I'm singing at a, honky tonk at
Right.
midnight. It's just so it's kind of fun to have different it's like different crowds, different people, different demographics. You kind of have to learn how to speak to them differently. If you're in a fancy theater, you're
Right.
not going to be hooping and hollering like you are at a bar. So it's fun. It's fun that's what I love most. I love people. I love meeting people. I love hearing their stories and I love and they love me and they bring me gifts and they tell me about Christmas and they share holidays with me. And it's just,
Oh,
yeah, it's just so fun. It's fun to have so many people that love and support what you love and love to do. It's really indescribable.
and it's more, um, what's the word? Memorable for
Yeah.
you. I think, to meet different people as you tour around the world. And as you said, you make friends. You think, well, next time I'm there, let's go for a drink or let's go for dinner, which is good.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we don't really get to go out to eat and like go
Oh,
out that much when we're on tour. That's the only bad thing because we really have to kind of do sound check, do the gig.
of
I
course.
used to do a VIP. Then after the gig, sometimes I'll go to the merch table and people will want to take pictures there. So it's pretty much get there and work, work, work. And then when you
Yeah.
leave at the end of the night, maybe we have a beer at the end of the night. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely not as much of a party as people think it is because you got to get up the next morning and get to the next town.
And that's stressful, I'm sure, because now you're thinking ahead, right? This is it. We've done this till now. We're going to travel the next 3, 4 hours to go to the next town and perform there. Oh, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
and
want to.
in America, it's so wide. So we may have, we may play a gig and the next day we have got to travel 5 hours and then
Oh, yeah,
a gig. And then the next day we may have to travel 8 hours. So it's such a huge country. There's such a large geographical area. And so sometimes we do fly and sometimes we take a bus and sometimes we take a van, sometimes we just in a rental van, just whatever. It's just whatever it seems to
yeah.
make the most sense.
Would you say that obviously a bus would be more comfortable than just a van?
Yes, definitely more comfortable, but at the same time, if you look at the map and, we're in Tennessee and the gigs in California, obviously
Oh,
jumping on an airplane is
of
going to be the most
course.
comfortable way to do
Of
that.
course. It's too long to travel from Nashville to California, I'm sure.
Or England. I'll
Oh,
definitely need
yes,
a
definitely. What are your plans, Karen, in the next few months?
So right now I'm working on it. I have a new song that's dropping on July 24th, and I would love for everyone to listen, stream, add it to your playlist, all of that. That's dropping on July 24th. And it's actually a song called Louisiana Hurricane, which is a song about my where I'm from. And it's actually comparing having a good time and letting loose and being crazy and partying to a cocktail that we have in Louisiana called a Louisiana Hurricane is what the cocktail is called. And
Okay.
yeah, and I have my two friends from The Voice, Danny, Stacy, and Bree Fletcher, singing on the track with me, and it's dropping on July 24th. So we'll do that, and then we're going to tour really heavily, and then we're going to be working on another song that I'm in the process of recording right now called Blue Cowboy Boots.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that one will be released, and then later this Christmas, we do a project that we do every single year. We do our annual Christmas boxes where people order these boxes and we ship them all over the country. And I jump on Zoom and sign them. Not Zoom, sorry, Facebook Live and sign them and sing Christmas songs. And it's just such a fun time. And we'll be doing that at the holidays. And that's really the time I get to stay home and really just decorate my Christmas tree and, make
Yeah.
chili and do the
Oh.
stuff that people. December is really a home time for musicians.
Oh, yes, definitely taking that month off just to be with family. I don't blame you.
Absolutely.
Oh, shame. Well, Karen, we're just about out of time. But before we go, if you could just tell the listeners where they can follow you or to buy your music from.
I always tell people if they want to check it out, go to KarenWaldrup.com. KarenWaldrup.com kind of has everything. It has the tour schedule, it has the VIP links, it has the merchandise, the videos, the music. It just has everything. So if you go to KarenWaldrup.com, it'll also point you to the proper social media outlets. And I know that's a
Okay.
huge problem these days with people having impersonators. So I always
Oh,
tell
I
people
know.
start at KarenWaldrup.com.
That's a good thing to do, Karen. I really good advice.
Right.
Well, Karen, thank you so much once again, darling, for taking time out of your day to come and chat with me. I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Well, thank you so much. It was great to meet you, and thank you for sharing my music with the world.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And well, thank you for agreeing to come and talk to me. But anyway, Karen, have a great day. And hopefully we'll catch up soon to talk about your new single.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Karen. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.